All right, I'll try to take you through some of the mods here I've done. First of all, I stripped out the bean cooling fans and put one over the motor and one over the electronics box to keep that cool. And then I built a attachment here, 3D printed an attachment for my shop vac to do the actual bean cooling, which works pretty well. It'll do that in about 30 seconds. It's in fact so powerful that if I'm on a smooth surface, it'll suck the tray back in if it's empty. So very powerful there. This is the big mod. I built a LCD keypad shield on top of the Arduino Artisan mod. And this is, at this point, completely functional. I don't have it set up to work completely independent of Artisan, but it certainly works hand in hand very well. This button here, the select button, I've configured to turn on what I call the ice box, which are the fans that vent the electronics and the motor. And that's a toggle. And you hear it turned off, that's because Artisan's not running and sending a keep alive. You could have it work independently, but if I wanted to do that, I would use the original controller. I really wanted it to work in conjunction with Artisan. So if I turn Artisan on, which will begin sending the keep alive, and you hear the drum came on as usual. And then here I turn on my icebox. It'll run forever now. It's being kept alive. The machine's not shutting itself off as a safety feature. So some of the things here that work in conjunction is, first of all, I can fire the burner. The up-down is burner in 5% increments. So if I dial this up to just 50, first of all, you'll see over here in Artisan, it's also at 50, and we're firing a heater line. If I was logging right now, you would see the graph begin to capture. But you can see that the burner is indeed on. I can do the same thing with vent. So to the right runs the vent up, and I'll run it up far enough where you can hear it. And there, so that's now venting. I sent it out my hood there. And again, over here in Artisan, it's picked up the vents. And again, if we were logging, you would see that as a data point here. I've also plugged this all in buttons. So, I can work with the physical controller, or I can come over here and execute like fan 75, which will change the slider. But then also over here, the fan is changed to 75. Now, this is one little bug in my code. It's reading, once it hits 3 digits for 100%, it stays 3 digits, but that is indeed 75. And again, it works in concert. So if I go down to 65, then over here, you see 65 in Artisan. So aside from, those perfect marriages in the sliders and the controller and the temp report, I also have an emergency stop here. I've used the reset button, and you can hear the machine running, and if I hit reset, everything dies. So, and I can fire it right back up. So there's heat coming back on. You'll see it glowing in there. I can bring the fan right back on. So a lot of manual control here within the roast. And again, this all stays in sync with Artisan. So those are my mods. If you got questions, I'll try to help you out.